Same company, same hire date, same salary, and $75,000 a year. Two people walk out of the building on the same Friday afternoon. In the same month of the same year, they take different trains home. They are going to make different decisions tonight and tomorrow, and every month for the next 20 years. None of those decisions will look dramatic. Most of them will look identical from the outside. The difference between them will not be visible for a long time. Then it will be impossible to miss. This is not a story about luck. It is not a story about income. It is a story about what happens when two people with exactly the same number make completely different choices. About what that number means. 20 years, 2 lives, one gap that nobody saw coming? Except the math, which saw it from the first month. Year 1. The first apartment costs $1,400 a month. One bedroom, 30 minutes from the office. The neighborhood is fine, not impressive, fine. The first car is a 2019 Honda Civic, paid in cash from savings accumulated before the job started. No monthly payment. The insurance is $112 a month. That is the entire transportation cost. On the last Friday of the first month, an automatic transfer moves $1,250 into a low-cost index fund. The process takes 4 minutes to set up and 0 minutes every month after that. Nobody at the office knows this is happening. It is not mentioned at lunch or in the elevator or at the company happy hour. This is the first month of the Quiet Millionaire. The second apartment costs $2,100 a month, downtown. The building has a gym and a rooftop. The address sounds right when you say it out loud. That matters more than it should. The car is a leased BMW 3 Series, $847 a month. The decision takes one afternoon at the dealership. The logic is that it is a work expense, essentially. The kind of thing that signals success to clients and colleagues. This logic is applied quickly and not examined closely. The wardrobe gets updated. The restaurants are good ones. The Instagram has 73 new followers in the first 3 months. People at the office notice the car in the parking garage. By the end of month 12, the person who looks rich has made $127,000 in lease and apartment payments. Bought $4,200 in clothing and accumulated $0 in savings. There is $1,800 on a credit card at 22% interest. The Quiet Millionaire has $15,000 in an index fund and a car that needs new tires. Nobody would look at these two people and know which one is ahead. Year 5. The portfolio has a number in it now that feels real, $94,600. It got there without anyone touching it. Monthly contributions, compounding returns, one rebalancing that took 20 minutes. The Honda has 71,000 miles on it. It still runs fine. A raise came in year 3. The automatic transfer amount went up. The apartment is the same. The rent went up to $1,580. That is still $520 less per month than the downtown apartment cost 5 years ago. The Quiet Millionaire does not think about this often. The money is invested. The money is growing. The money is not a topic of conversation. The $94,600 is not just a number. It is a number that is earning its own money now. At 8% annual return, that portfolio generates roughly $7,500 a year in growth, without a single new dollar contributed. This is the part of compounding that looks slow for years and then suddenly does not. Year 5 is when the second lease ends and the third one begins. The new car is an Audi. The payment is $910 a month. The credit card got paid off twice and refilled twice. The balance right now is $6,200. The raise in year 3 felt significant. The lifestyle adjusted to match it within 90 days. The apartment upgraded. The vacations got longer. The savings rate stayed at 0. Because 0 had become the default, and defaults are hard to question when everything looks fine. The credit score is good. The income is solid. The debt-to-income ratio is technically manageable. Everything is technically fine. There is a number that nobody is calculating in year 5. The total amount paid in car lease payments over 5 years, 2 leases, different cars, is $54,420. That money does not exist anywhere now. It was not an investment. It was not an asset. The cars were returned. The money was returned to the dealership. Nothing remains from $54,420, except the memory of driving a car that felt like success. Both people buy houses in year 5. The Quiet Millionaire puts 22% down on a $340,000 house in a decent neighborhood. The mortgage payment is $1,640 a month. It is comfortable. The person who looks rich puts 5% down on a $510,000 house in a better neighborhood. The mortgage payment is $3,100 a month. It requires both incomes to cover everything. There is no margin. On paper, the second house is worth more. In practice, the first house has an owner who sleeps without calculating scenarios. At the end of year 5, $94,600 in investments, one paid-off car, one manageable mortgage. Versus zero investments, $6,200 in credit card debt, one aggressive mortgage, one Audi lease. The gap is $100,000. It is invisible. Year 10, the portfolio crossed $240,000 in March. Not because of any dramatic decision, because of 10 years of $1,250 a month, at an average return that the market produced automatically. The house has $80,000 in equity. The car is a 2023 Civic, bought used, paid in cash, from a savings account that exists specifically for this. There is an emergency fund with 18 months of expenses. This number, 18 months, is not shared with anyone. It sits in a high-yield savings account and earns interest and does not come up at dinner parties. From a savings account that exists specifically for this. They know that he drives a used car and lives in a neighborhood they would not choose. Some of them feel slightly sorry for him in a way they would not admit out loud. What they do not know is that the used car was paid in full from a dedicated savings account. What they do not know is that the neighborhood has a mortgage payment of $1,640, less than some of their car payments. What they do not know is that the person they feel sorry for has more liquid net worth than anyone on their floor, including their manager. The gap between what people know about someone's finances and what is actually true is almost always enormous. The people who look fine are often not. The people who look like they are falling behind are often decades ahead. Year 10 is difficult. The mortgage that was aggressive in year 5 is now a weight. One partner's income dropped for 14 months during a job transition. The credit card got used during that period. The balance reached $18,400. The Audi is on its 4th lease. The Instagram looks the same as it did in year 3. Good restaurants, travel, the right occasions documented in the right way. The numbers behind the images are not documented anywhere. A restructuring at the company happens in October. 40 positions are eliminated. Both people receive the same email from HR. It lands in their inboxes at 9:07 a.m. on a Tuesday. The quiet millionaire reads it, calculates 18 months of runway, and begins thinking about what comes next without fear. The person who looks rich reads it and cannot breathe. The mortgage payment comes out in 11 days. The credit card minimum is due on the 5th. There is $3,200 in checking. Both people keep their jobs. The restructuring takes others. But for 6 hours on that Tuesday, the gap between $240,000 in investments and $3,200 in checking was not invisible. It was the only thing that mattered. Year 20. The same coffee shop. They have been meeting here occasionally for 2 decades, not often, but enough that it is familiar. The barista has changed 4 times. The prices have gone up. The chairs are different. One of them orders without looking at the menu. The total is $7.40. He pays without any mental calculation occurring. The other opens the banking app before ordering. Not dramatically, quietly, a habit so ingrained it no longer registers as a behavior. He orders the same thing he always orders, $7.40. He pays. The coffee costs the same. The experience of paying for it is completely different. 20 years of $1,250 a month into an index fund, at an average annual return of 8%, produces $740,000. The house has $210,000 in equity. The cars are owned, not leased. There is no credit card balance. The net worth is $1,100,000. This number exists in a spreadsheet that almost nobody has seen. The quiet millionaire does not feel rich. He does not think about the number often. What he notices is the absence of certain feelings. The absence of the low-grade financial anxiety that he watched operate in other people for 2 decades. The freedom is not a feeling of abundance. It is the feeling of nothing. No alarm, no calculation, no cost-benefit running in the background of every decision. 20 years of lease payments, credit card interest, lifestyle inflation, and a mortgage that required everything. The salary grew, the spending grew with it. The net worth did not grow. It oscillated between 0 and slightly negative, depending on the market value of the house against what was owed on it. At 45, the person who looks rich is starting a conversation about retirement for the first time in a serious way. The number in the retirement account, started in year 8 after a colleague mentioned it, is $41,000. The gap between $1,100,000 and $41,000 is $1,059,000. It was built on one side from $1,250 a month. Nothing dramatic, no inheritance, no windfall. No second income source, one index fund, one automatic transfer, 20 years. On the other side, it was spent on cars that were returned, clothes that were donated, vacations that are now photographs, and the feeling, sustained for 20 years and of looking like the right kind of person. The Quiet Millionaire won a game nobody knew he was playing. The Quiet Millionaire was not smarter. He did not earn more. He did not sacrifice everything. He took vacations, ate at good restaurants, lived a full life. He drove used cars and lived in a fine neighborhood and invested the difference. The difference, compounded over 20 years, became $1,100,000. He made one decision, one time, and then let the calendar do the rest. The decision was not about money. It was about what money is for. The Quiet Millionaire decided, early and without drama, that money is for the future version of himself, not for the version other people see today. That one decision, made once, automated immediately, never revisited, produced every number in this video. The person who looks rich made one decision too. He decided that the appearance of wealth and the accumulation of wealth were the same project. They are not. They are opposite projects. Every dollar spent on one is a dollar that cannot compound in the other. The $1,059,000 gap did not happen because of 20 years of dramatic choices. It happened because of 20 years of small ones. The lease versus the used car. The downtown apartment versus the fine one. The automatic transfer that happened without thinking versus the month-end balance that got spent because it was there. 240 months. 240 small decisions, each one invisible. The sum, everything. The Quiet Millionaire never looked rich. He never needed to. The number was never for anyone else. The only question is which project you are running.